Hi, I'm Dr. Story. I'm going to give you 10 natural ways to lower your blood pressure. Number 1, lose weight. Your heart has to beat blood to all tissues of the body. The less tissue you have, the less your blood pressure should, in theory, be. Number 2, you must exercise. Now, there's different types of exercise. And what I recommend is to do the exercise that I made in the other video that I did regarding what types of exercise are best for high blood pressure. I'm going to put a link down below so you can go to it. But essentially, I'm going to summarize it for you. Do not do any exercises that involve strenuous lifting. If you're doing a lift and you're trying to do a military press and you're pushing up and you have to hold your breath to try to get that weight up, that's not going to be good for your high blood pressure. You want exercise to actually raise your heart rate to a certain level, but not so high that you're gasping for air. So aerobic exercise is the best. Number 3, get a healthy diet. Now, this is a can of worms because what does healthy mean? You've got people on one side of the equation that will say only eat meat, and another side of the equation that says become a vegan. So the question is, which one is right? The answer is it's very likely both of them, because in almost all diets, they require you to stop eating processed foods. Well, whether you're eating grass-fed meat or a piece of organic broccoli, you're probably not eating processed foods. Why don't you get the best of both worlds and just eat natural food? This very often, if you can do this, will significantly lower your blood pressure. Number 4, reduce salt. Now, if you reduce salt, very often you're reducing processed foods at the same time. But essentially, without getting into too much of a chemistry talk, salt will help retain water. If there's more water in your blood vessels, in theory, then the pressure would be higher. So by reducing salt in our diet, we actually can lower blood pressure. So if you're salting all your food, sometimes significantly just reducing that salt will make a difference in your blood pressure. Number 5, stop drinking alcohol. Now, there is a misconception that if you drink a glass of wine every day, that's actually healthy for your heart. The reason that's healthy for your heart is because where wine comes from, the grapes, it's not the actual alcohol. Alcohol in itself is actually poisonous to our liver and is just not good for us. So if we can get the benefits of the red wine without the alcohol, that'd be great. But the thing is that you've got to reduce your alcohol consumption if you want to lower your blood pressure. Number 6, quit smoking. This is, of course, on paper, it's easy to say that, but it's very difficult to do. But if you're a smoker and you do want to stop smoking, I usually recommend to my patients to get help. It's very difficult to go cold turkey and get off cigarettes. You need extra help, and the best thing to do is to get counseling and to get help so that you can get off the cigarettes. Number 7, knock it off with the caffeine. The caffeine is in Pepsis and Cokes and all these different drinks that we have. Caffeine is also in the coffees that we drink. I know Starbucks and Coffee Bean and Peet's Coffee and all these things are very popular. But the problem is, if you have high blood pressure, it's not worth having a stroke over. So you've got to stop the caffeine. Number 8, reduce your stress. This was the most important thing that I was trying to portray in my other video on breathing. I'm going to leave a link down below, and here's the thing. We can't get rid of stress. It's easy to say, stop having stress, but we have stress in our lives, and there's nothing really we can do about it. But number 1, we can choose how to handle that stress, which again is easier said than done. Or the easiest thing to do is number 2. I can teach you a breathing method that would give your blood pressure a break. It would give your heart a break. It would give you a break. I believe that in our 24 hours, we deserve a minimum of 5 minutes of a break from all our worries. After the breathing, if you want, you can go back to worrying about what you are stressed about. But no, regardless of that, look in the section below. I'm going to tag this. I'm going to give you the video of how I teach patients how to breathe and lower their blood pressure and reduce stress all in one. Number 9, check your own blood pressure. You know, it's significant. is every time you go to a doctor, they rush you into the room, they immediately take your blood pressure, of course it's high, and what do? They recommend medication. So how do you know what your real blood pressure is? Well, why don't you check it yourself? Get a home blood pressure monitor. Now, the important thing to understand is some of these monitors, there's been some studies that show some of these artificial monitors do show higher numbers than what our true blood pressure is when you do it with a normal cuff. So keep that in mind, that if you can monitor your blood pressure and your blood pressure is always somewhat normal when you're at home, but then every time you go to the doctor it's high, you may have something called white coat syndrome. And so I'm going to make another video about it. I'll tag it into this video when I get a chance. But keep in mind that you may have high blood pressure, but it's only at the doctor's office. Number 10 is change the nutrition such that you have a drink that will lower your blood pressure. I produced a video, and I'll tag it down below, of a drink that lowers your blood pressure. Now, the important thing to understand about this drink is that you may smell like garlic, but if you do it at night or do it before you're not in front of people, it's not that big of a deal. You simply take water with lemon. The lemon will get the juices out of the garlic in it. You smash a piece of garlic into the water and you let it sit there for a while, let the juices of the garlic get into the water, and then drink it, and it will lower your blood pressure. If you have any specific questions about lowering your blood pressure, let me know those questions in the comment section below, and I'd be happy to help you. If you want to subscribe to my channel, go ahead and do so. I have lots of good stuff, and thanks for watching, and give me a thumbs up if you like this video.